We mentioned a lot of the other filler matches earlier on, and we went through those. And there's another one that we have to talk about here: Bray Wyatt versus Kofi Kingston. Ugh, this was the quintessential match of the night that went on far too long, was far too boring, made no difference whatsoever to the pay per view in any kind of positive sense, had no build up to it, and they're not going to do anything because of it either. Pointless.
Made no
And
sense to me.
there was even a part of the match where Kofi jumps out of the ring, takes out the whole Wyatt family, and there are these idiots in the crowd chanting ECW. Wow. Like, oh.
No. See, it made sense because Kofi is an ECW original.
This was just crap. I mean, this went along with the whole rest of the pay-per-view. This was just crap. What do you guys have to say about this?
I don't know if I can possibly top that line.
It was awful. It was Bray Wyatt sucks. I mean, it's a shame. This guy just needs to go. The guy gets the coolest theme song in the world, one of the greatest and most unique gimmicks the company has had in a decade, and he still freaking sucks. He can't get the slightest reaction of a crowd during his match. His two henchmen, I think, are more impressive than him, and they're freaking terrible. So I'm so done with this Wyatt gimmick already, and it's a shame. I really tried to give it a chance. I fell out of them the first time we saw him in that Inferno match with Kane, and I was like, all right, I'm going to try to stay. We'll see how it goes the next couple months. It's been a couple months. He hasn't gotten any better. It's done.
I think one of the things hurting him is they've got this mentality in WWE with the Wyatt family where they're bringing them out, and then they're not doing anything with them. And then they're waiting like 2 or 3 weeks and then having them pop out and go, we're here, and then nothing else happens. And it seems like they aren't following their own rule of bringing somebody into the main roster when they have something planned for them. It kind of seems like they don't have anything planned for the Wyatt family. You know what I mean?
Everything else is going on, and they're left without anything noble or anything to work with since Kane's been gone after SummerSlam. They're just sort of there.
Even with the Kane thing, for the most part, they came out and they attacked Kane, and then I think it was the next week, or it might have been the week afterward, they weren't even on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And they're taking a couple episodes off here and there. And then the only thing that they're doing to make up for that is they come out and they attack R-Truth, or they play their music while Kofi Kingston's in the ring, and then he just kind of goes like, huh, I guess we're having a match?
Or they scare the Miz a bit.
Yeah, like, I don't get it. They don't have any...
There's no direction. Yeah, absolutely no direction.
And since when is the Miz too good to get a beatdown from the Wyatt family that he's got to get the slip? Like, is that how the Wyatt family has dropped now?
Maybe it's not
was anybody else disappointed by that? I mean, I wanted to see it.
I was actually kind of happy about it. I like the Miz.
Over the past month, we've seen him get destroyed by Randy Orton in front of his parents, get knocked out by the Big Show with absolutely no conscious worries about it whatsoever. But he's going to get the slip on the freaking Wyatt family. So I think that speaks volumes.
They should just have the Wyatt family against Mrs. Dad. He'll no-sell everything.
Mrs. Dad should join the Wyatt family. It'd be a feud between them and Miz.
I think Mrs. Dad should just take Bray Wyatt's place.
Imagine him coming down.
Am I the only one who thinks he is a pretty good speaker, though?
He's a good speaker.
That he
can be a manager.
That's
what he should be. He should just be a manager. Come out, rocking his wheelchair.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's...
Wheelchair.
His wheelchair?
I didn't even catch that. Maybe that'll even make the gimmick better if he just has a wheelchair.
That's a good way to write him out of wrestling.
Have him break his leg or something. He's just got to sit in a wheelchair the whole time.
Have him do that thing that he was doing where he was bending over and his neck was all weird, and then he just gets paralyzed because he did it wrong.
No, I like his gimmick. It's just I don't think he can work worth the shit. That's all. And I don't remember him being that bad when he was Husky Harris. I don't know what's going on. If it's just him trying to implement the gimmick into ring work, I don't remember him being that bad on NXT.
When he had the gimmick in NXT, he was amazing. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, he was very solid for like a bigger worker. Now he's not. I don't know what it has to be him trying to implement the psychology of his character, and it just is not translating well to what he's trying to do in the ring. That has to be it, because I seen him do good stuff 3 years ago. What the hell's going on?
Well, I think Peyton's got the whole caveat here. I think that Bray Wyatt would be a fantastic manager for somebody else. He's just not a good enough wrestler. And
let him build the family. He's got the two big goop buffoon guys. He could bring in Kane. Maybe bring in someone else like an R-Truth. I bet he could be a good fit in the Wyatt family.
maybe there's another
Truth.
person from NXT that can come on and kind of fill that Bray Wyatt spot.
The Ascension would be a good couple guys to pair with Bray Wyatt. They got like this dark, twisted, gothic type gimmick.
Unless they want to use that tag team as a gimmick, like as a kind of a concept itself, like its own entity when they call it up to the roster.
I
think it's
personally hate the Ascension.
They could always do that later, kind of like the Acolytes. You know, the Acolytes started in the Ministry of Darkness.
That's
They
true.
started before, but then they went on to be their own guys afterwards.
the gimmick. I still think has a lot of potential. It's just something's missing.
Like a couple
A
episodes overall.
direction, probably for one thing, a decent direction. It doesn't have to be the greatest thing in the world, just something.
I kind of
Mrs. Dad.
think with some people, they're really getting hindered from the Triple H storyline.
Mhm.
And
They're going to say the gender.
These people are suffering because of that, but I also think that they didn't even have that plan necessarily when we first started, and they were still sort of doing this with the Bray Wyatt family. So I think they jumped the gun a little bit. I think that they wanted Kane to get off at SummerSlam, and they were just like, oh, let's write him off TV with the Wyatt family, and let's bring him on now, and we'll figure it out later. And then they kind of realized, oh, shit, we didn't actually spend the 15 minutes to figure it out. So now they're trying to make up for it by having random matches with R-Truth, and I'm sure if Tyson Kidd was back and on the main roster again and not somebody that they're just kind of like waiting in the wings for, that we would see him jobbing out to the Bray Wyatt family and everybody. Like, I don't know. I just think that we're going to look back in a year and these people aren't going to be worth a damn. Which is a shame because a lot of people were like, oh, maybe they're going to be the ones that'll take it off the Shield and whatever. No way now. 3MB's got a better shot at it now.
Hell yeah.
Well, that and they're both heel factions.
Los Matadores. They're going to be another waste. But yeah, Bray Wyatt versus Kofi Kingston. Crap. And I don't think there's anything else we really need to talk about, is there?
Meh. No.
Nope.
It's crap.
CM Punk versus Ryback coming up in part 11.